I talk about recency bias a lot on my channel. Why? Because I see people show recency bias all of the time. Russell Westbrook, one of the most explosive and dynamic point guards to play the game of basketball. When Westbrook was in his athletic prime, he was nasty. And the thing is, I truly do believe he still is. Hold on, man. I have to open up the book on you guys really quick. What is recency bias? Recency bias is a cognitive bias that favors recent events over historic ones. It's funny that I would say historic, because people act like Westbrook was hooping decades ago. Like it wasn't just last season that he put up 27 points per game, shooting 47% from the field. Westbrook was the second option to one of the most ball-dominant players to ever play the game of basketball. I'm sorry, James Harden, I really had to say that. I'm just trying to make a point. And he still put up 27 points, 8 boards, and 7 assists. Look, his usage rate was still really high. It wasn't the perfect season, but when he got going, he hit the ground running. The point I'm trying to make is that I feel like Russell Westbrook still has a lot left in the tank. Before you hate, hear me out. That's all I could ask for. This season, everybody has been blaming Russell Westbrook. I truly don't feel like what's going on with the Wizards is his fault at all. I think the Wizards have much bigger problems, and I think you'll understand where I'm coming from by the time this video is over. Now, before we go any further, I want to give a major shout out to SBD Play for sponsoring this video. SBD Play is free to play sports betting. SBD Play hooks you up with a virtual $500 each week to place bets for free. These are real teams with real odds. If you're number one on the leaderboard at the end of the week, SBD Play sends you $500 in real cash. Even if your team didn't make the Super Bowl, you can still get in on the action. Trust me, SBD Play has you covered. See, a guy like me, I'm personally feeling the Chiefs this week. Speaking of the Super Bowl, right now SBD Play is hosting Super Bowl contest. Big game, big prizes. For the Super Bowl, SBD Play is giving away $6K with 5 winners. The best thing is you don't have to lose any of your money to play on SBD Play. A major shout out to SBD Play for sponsoring this video. Click the link in my description to sign up for SBD Play and get a virtual $500 to bet with using the code SBD2021. I feel bad for Washington Wizards fans. Not because the Wizards are bad or one of the worst teams in the entire league. Actually, that might be part of the reason that I feel bad. But a major part of me doesn't like the fact that they never really gave John Wall a chance to come back and show what he could bring to this Washington Wizards team. Now, I'm not saying the Wizards would be better with John Wall over Russell Westbrook, but anything is possible. There's a chance they would. There's also a chance that the Washington Wizards could be worse. Hard to believe, right? But at least Bradley Beal would be happy. Bradley Beal has called John Wall more than a friend multiple times. He feels like John Wall is family. I know Bradley Beal is really cool with Westbrook, and winning cures everything, but here's the thing. The Washington Wizards haven't been winning. They're having one of the worst seasons that I've seen them have in recent memory. And that's saying a lot, because Wizards fans have been through some things. But I haven't forgot when they were good.
Delivers from the corner, putting it down! Nasty play by Wall!
When we talk Bradley Beal, we have to talk numbers, because 35 points per game is different. 5 boards, 5 assists, 49% from the field. Have you guys watched Bradley Beal play this season? When the Pelicans played the Washington Wizards, the Pelicans did everything they could to get multiple bodies around Bradley Beal and make sure that they were not going to lose because Bradley Beal went off. He dropped 47 points that night, and the Washington Wizards still lost. Do you know how mad I would be if I'm scoring 35 points per game? I averaged 37 for the entire month of January, and we only come out with 4 wins? There's no way around it. That's a tough situation. Recently, I've been seeing Bradley become more and more frustrated. He's not even trying to hide it anymore, and I really don't feel like he should. We've seen him isolated from his team during timeouts. We've seen people complain that he's mentally checked out of games. Yeah, it looks like he's standing around here, but if you're going to stand around and drop 37, then you can do your James Harden impersonation all you want. Don't worry guys, I'm seriously a Harden fan. The comment section of my channel can vouch for me. You want to know the most ridiculous part about Beal standing around and checking out of this game, quote unquote? The Washington Wizards won this game. It was against the Brooklyn Nets, one of the most improbable comebacks that I've ever seen. Bradley Beal deep three.
Beal will pull up for three. He hits it.
Steal, Westbrook, cash. The most ridiculous part about it all was that three that Westbrook hit was only 3 of his 41 points. Russ is tough. Say what you want. He's always struck me as somebody that only cares about winning. When you put Russ on the floor for 48 minutes, you know exactly what you're going to get. Russ said the biggest difference for him was that he got healthy. He was giving his team everything on one leg last week. For those that didn't know, quad injuries have been affecting Russ for some time. If you take things back to the NBA bubble, you'll see more of the same. Russ suffers injury, Russ returns too early. January 13th, the Wizards feared that Russell Westbrook had a setback that would hold him back 3 to 4 weeks. He would return less than 2 weeks later, drop 9 points versus the San Antonio Spurs, and the hot takes would fly. Do I even need to tell you guys how this game resulted? It was another L. Speaking of L's, sometimes I wonder how many more L's Bradley Beal can take. If I'm tired of seeing ridiculous scoring output after ridiculous scoring output result in an L, then I can only imagine how he's truly feeling. The Wizards roster has a lot of promise, but at this very moment, they're so oddly coached and constructed that I do worry about the future and direction of the franchise. I don't want to see talented players have their careers wasted away. Rui Hachimura missed 2 shots against the Portland Trail Blazers and scored 24 points. Bradley Beal had 37. Russell Westbrook had 17. He was efficient, and this team still found a way to lose. The Washington Wizards have the second worst defensive efficiency in the NBA for a reason. If you're blaming this team's losses on Bradley Beal or Russell Westbrook, I truly don't know what to tell you. Do I wish that Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook would set the tone defensively? Of course. These are 2 guys that are already doing so much for their team, but defensively, I can't lie, both of them could be better. How are you supposed to get wins when your team is playing defense like this, man? Random stat, Westbrook is shooting 36% from 3 this season. I think things are only going to get better for Russell Westbrook. Saying he's already averaging 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists, that's saying a lot. And they were calling him washed. Things can get better, but it has to start now. Let me know if you guys think Beal should demand a trade. To play the advocate, the Wizards did just win without... I'ma relax. I'm Get Like Coop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.